Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you guys are new. Today's video is going to be all about how to cope and survive getting knee surgery. I got MPFL reconstruction surgery, and if you haven't seen like my vlog where I sort of explain it, I'll link it down below. But basically I talk about why I got knee surgery and what knee surgery I got and all of that. It's a month post-op for me. So I figured that this video would be appropriate to film, and it's going to be going up on Tuesday. So when you're watching it, it'll be April 16th, but close enough. Yeah, so let's just get right into the video. We're gonna start with the pre-op. So my first tip would be to not look up your surgery before it happens. One, they tell you not to do it in general because it's gonna freak you out. And two, from experience, I did it and it did not help me. It freaked me out, so I would recommend not doing that. Sorry, my chair is really, really squeaky, so if you hear that, that's what it is. But my second tip is to not be afraid to let your emotions out about having surgery or whatever it may be, because like for me it was surgery, so like it's a very big thing that's going to be happening, and like if you deny yourself the ability to feel upset about it or feel angry about it, you're just gonna have it all pent up, and then it's just gonna come out later and it's gonna be worse. So I would say feel those emotions of anger and sadness and whatever they may be, but also try and balance it with being positive and knowing that it's a solution to a long-term issue. My third tip would be to surround yourself with a good support system. So whether it's your friends, your family, like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever it may be, you want to have a good support system around you, because going into surgery you're going to need it, and then coming out of surgery you're going to need it even more. So my next tip is to follow all of the pre-op instructions if you have them. So for me, I didn't have any besides like don't eat or drink anything like the night before your surgery, blah blah blah, like the typical stuff. But I know for my friend, she had ACL surgery done and she had to get to a certain range of motion and like do all of this different stuff. So if you do have pre-op instructions, follow them and make sure you're doing them to make your results steadier and better. My next tip is to have somebody to vent to and have somebody to tell how you're feeling to. It can be multiple people, but you want to have that person because you're gonna be feeling a lot and going through a lot. So having someone to talk to and just like express your anger and be upset and cry and laugh and whatever you might be feeling, that's really, really important to have. My next tip is on the post-op side of things, and it's to start your post-op exercises as soon as you can, or as soon as your surgeon tells you it's okay. I was able to start like leg lifts the day after my surgery, so obviously they're not very high leg lifts, they're like very, very tiny, but it's something, and it gets your muscles moving again, and the sooner the better basically. And then the next one would be to keep time logs of all of the medication that you have to take, because like you can just get very confused. So for me, I was taking a Percocet, I was taking an anti-inflammatory, and I was taking, I think, one other thing. It was either two, I think it was three things the first day and then like two for the rest of the time. But you just like, you're taking them at multiple points in the day. Like I think it was the Percocet I took twice a day, and then the anti-inflammatory was something different. So you just want to like make sure you're keeping track of it, because you don't want to take one too many or take one too soon and have them interact, because that's the last thing you want. So yeah, keep track of all of your meds and the times that you have taken them and need to take them next. Going along with medication, my next tip is to wean yourself off of the narcotic, whatever it might be, because you're definitely going to get one after surgery, especially after knee surgery. But you want to wean yourself off of that as soon as you can, because they're highly addictive drugs, and you sign waivers like in the hospital that say that these are highly addictive drugs. Take them as prescribed, and then like I was only on my narcotic for 3 days, I think, or even maybe 2. And so you just want to try and manage the pain, and if it's obviously too much, take the drug, because that's what it's there for, but don't become dependent on it, because that just leads you down a really, really deep, dark hole. My next tip would be to stay positive and focus on the things you are doing and what you can do versus what you can't do and what you used to do. For me, is very difficult because I really liked to run and exercise, so obviously I couldn't do that. I still can't really do that. Like, I'm going to PT, and that's really good and helpful for like my mental state, but you don't want to look back and be like, oh, like I used to be able to do that, but now I can't. Oh, like look at that person over there, they're running and they look really good, it's a great day for a run, but I can't do that. That's not going to help, and I'm still working on not doing that, but it's definitely something that if you can train yourself to do right away, it makes life so much better and not as hard for you. The next tip is to put 110% into physical therapy once you start it. I know that's like a very annoying cliche saying, but it's very true. Like, once you start PT, for me, it's 3 times a week for 4 weeks as of right now. But once you start it, like when you go and you do all of your exercises, you do them as many times and as many repetitions as they tell you. I've been in PT before, and I have cheated my way through some of the exercises. I'm not gonna lie, like when they say do 20 and you get to 15 and you're kind of feeling real tired and you don't want to finish the 20, like you maybe do 17 and call it a day. With this stuff, like you want to make sure you're doing everything they're telling you to do. Like if they say 20 like 3 times, do 20 3 times. It just helps you mentally, and it makes you stronger, which leads you to a faster and better recovery. Keep that in mind when you are at your physical therapy, feeling the burn and not wanting to keep going. My next tip would be to challenge yourself. Like, you want to challenge yourself enough, but you don't want to overdo it, obviously. Challenging yourself would be go to PT and maybe you do one more like rep than you have to. If it's 20 leg raises, maybe you do 21 kind of thing. Or like it's 20 leg raises 2 times, maybe do 21 on the second time. It's little things like that. For me, I'm on a college campus, so challenging myself is like, now that I can walk on one crutch a little bit, walking on one crutch around my dorm. That's a challenge. Little challenges are good, but don't overdo it. My next tip would be to visit friends or have them visit you, because depending on your mobility, like you might need people to come see you, but you want to make sure you're not isolating yourself. That never leads to good things. Also, like if you're like me and you're in college, my dorm room is not that big. Like it's what you guys see right here, a bathroom over there, and then this whole side is my roommate's side, and trust me, it's not that big. You want to make sure that you're seeing people and you're not isolating yourself, because that'll just make you depressed and sad, and that's not going to help in your recovery process. We're getting close to the end, guys. The next tip is to not be afraid to ask for help. And it can be very discouraging when you think you're doing really well and then you have to ask someone, oh, hey, can you like pick this up for me, or can you carry this to a table? Like, I know it's very frustrating. I don't like asking for help. I want to be able to do things on my own, which is why this getting surgery was so difficult. But you can't be afraid to ask for help, because if you don't, you could injure yourself even more. Make sure you're asking for help when you need it, or even if you think you might need it, still ask. You can try and do it on your own, but make sure you have someone there to help you in case you need it, you know? And eventually you'll like hopefully make a very good full recovery and be good to go in like, I don't know, a year. I don't know how long this takes. I'm going through it, so we'll find out. Then my second to last tip is kind of a silly one, but It works for me. Have your favorite stuffed animal with you going into surgery and when you get out and all throughout your recovery process. They're great. I love them. I think they're great. I don't care that I'm almost 20 years old. I still love stuffed animals. My favorite stuffed animal is a pillow pet, and it's a horse, and his name is Hammy. He was with me when I got surgery, he was with me when I got home, and then he was with me when I came back to college to finish out the semester. So he's chilling on the bed right now. He's living his life. I would say definitely have your favorite stuffed animal or blanket or whatever it might be. And finally, my last tip is to not give up. And I know that's really vague and cliche, but if you do everything, like you push yourself, you let yourself feel upset, you balance it with positivity, you surround yourself with a support system that you love and trust, like you're going to be good and you're not going to want to give up. It's more so when you start to find yourself like falling down and feeling like in a rut, I guess, is when you might start to give up and feel like I can't do this, like this is too much. Even with all of my like support system around me, like at times it's felt like this is way too much. I can't do this. I cannot handle it. But I didn't give up. Obviously, I'm still here. Knee surgery is rough. Any type of surgery is rough. And it's not fun. It sucks. And you hate it when you're going through it. But it does get a lot better, and I'm doing really well. I'm at 40 degrees right now, range of motion, which is more than I thought I would be at this point in my recovery. And I'm able to walk around on one crutch in my room without my big immobilizer, as long as I'm careful. So it's little things like that you have to really focus on and make sure that you are proud of yourself, because if you're not proud of yourself, you're not going to see the progress you've made. Those are all of my tips for surviving a surgery, surviving knee surgery, and things to keep yourself sane and happy during this time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you can see where some of these things will apply to not just knee surgery, but either any type of surgery or just in life, you know. That's it for this video. Give it a like, subscribe down below. Check out my latest College Week in My Life. I will have it linked in the description. You can follow me on my social media, which is also linked in the description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.